Hello, I'm Dr. Ivor and welcome to another video. I've got a couple of good races for you here. This first one, it's a bit of a mixed lobby, A pluses and SS drivers, and a few of us A drivers at the back. There's PR1 Fire in first place, and I'm going to tell you now, we aren't going to get anywhere near him. But, you know, it was a good race. We're starting in 19th place, and if we can get onto the back of the A plus drivers, I'll be very happy with that. So, as we are about to get underway, we are lined up on the grid, and the rolling start is about to go. For the start of this, now we are at Interlagos in Group 3 cars. These are the dailies this week, and we are starting this race on the medium tyre, seeing as we're coming from the back. Usually a good idea to start on the harder compound. Both the mediums and the softs are required in this race, trying to get a little bit of heat in the tyres here. There was the guy in the Aston Martin behind us, obviously going to get a better drive down the straight, so just let him go. Don't want to lose too much time at this point. And I'm pretty sure I've seen Serapoth in some other videos, and pretty sure he is a quick guy, so I'm happy to sit in his slipstream for the beginning of this and see if he can drag me forward a little bit. And pretty good start to this race. We are still in the slipstream, which is basically what I want at this point. Just don't want to lose too much time while we're on these mediums. If we can keep on the back of this pack up ahead, I will be very pleased. And nothing too exciting going on up ahead at the moment. Everybody just forming a slipstream train and sticking to each other's bumpers as best they can. But we will get into some exciting racing as this progresses. So we round out the final turn on the first lap, and everyone pretty much where they started. Unfortunately, that Aston has such good drive up this hill that our little Mazda Atenza can't quite keep up, so we have lost the slip at this point. But it's okay, because this Mazda's party piece is very, very good brakes. So we are back in the slipstream after this corner, or almost. We are just about scraping onto the back of the slipstream. There's a little bit of fighting up ahead, so we should be able to catch up a little bit. At the moment, like I say, this first stint is just about maintaining that gap, to be honest. Just if an overtake happens, that'd be great, but if we can just hold on, that'd be even better. We just want overall no time loss. So we just want to keep the driving smooth and clean, and try not to punt anyone too badly and ruin our race and theirs. So a few changes of position up ahead. Serapoth making good progress, and Hun 87 here driving a good race, but I think we can make a move. Ooh, getting on the power a little bit early there, just loses us the run, but it's okay, we're still in the slipstream, going to be getting towed up that hill, so nothing too, didn't lose too much there. As we come across the line for the second time, onto lap number 3. A lot more fighting going up ahead. Serapoth trying to make moves on R4M Old Boy, but Old Boy defends pretty well. So we continue to watch from the back as somebody's serving a penalty there. That is Big Boy in 1978. Oh, and somebody bidding it as well. The Brit there in 20th, just running a little bit wide, I think, and dipping some wheels over the curb and losing the rear end. As our Hun goes for a move, and I just make contact with Serapov there. That was down to the concertina. And then, unfortunately, Big Boy just kind of forces a move there. It wasn't a bad move. I'd say that was clean. But it did cost me a little bit, but no place in the end. So nothing lost, nothing gained. We are going to follow Big Boy, and we do make a move or stick on R4M Old Boy. So coming into the 4th lap here, Serapov into the pits off his mediums on the 4th lap, and I think that is brave, because personally I can't make the softs last the rest of the race from there. I think I can get about 7 laps on the soft. That's my strat here, is 6 on the mediums, 7 on the softs. We'll see how that works as our Hun serves a penalty. So we gain another place. We are up to 16th at this point, so from 19th we are making good progress. Big Boy a little bit glitchy, a little bit all over the place, not quite sure exactly where he is on track. Kind of distracting, but it's not so bad that it's off-putting. As we come to round off the 4th lap here, it is all pretty even. Everybody holding their lines well, holding their positions. The gaps are opening up slightly, and this race is settling down nicely. So we'll see if we can make something happen. Although, pretty sure Big Boy has a little bit more pace than me. That RCZ is very good around this track. I personally like the Atenza around this track. I've driven it around this track a lot, so it's very easy for me to jump straight in and be reasonably quick in. So we're starting onto the 5th lap here, so one more lap after this and we will be coming in for our pit stops. And then this race will flip on its head slightly, because all the people up the front will have started on softs, and then we'll be running mediums at the end. So there is a good possibility of some overlap once the pits start happening. Big Boy goes for a move around the outside of Augustin 33. It doesn't make it happen. That's a tricky move to make stick, and brings us right up to his bumper, but not a lot we could do. There wasn't any room to get past, so we are just going to maintain 16th place at this point. And Big Boy really wanting to get past Augustin 33 here, pushing very hard. He's got the pace, but can he make a move work? It's the Italians versus the Spaniards. Let's see how this unfolds. And we are managing our tyres pretty well at this point. The mediums don't go off too fast anyway, but the aim of the game here for me is good tyre wear management and hopefully be able to outdrive people at the end of the stints. We are keeping up very nicely here. There is somebody coming out of the pits right now. Do we have the pace to get past? This is going to get very bunched up into the next corner. We've got Zag 59, who is going to be on fresh mediums, I believe. Didn't actually spot it, but we are very tight little pack here, and Augustin loses out. He does have the inside here. I'm going to try and hold it around the outside, get on the power, and if you can hold around the outside but quite tight into this corner, you then have the inside for this hairpin, And I think the little bit of contact between Biggie Boy and Augustin there helped secure me 15th place. So thank you for you boys for fighting. Anyway, we continue up to the final corner of this stint on our tyres. So we are going to be going backwards slightly now, but hopefully not too far. And not sure if Biggie Boy is going to come into the pits with us, but we will see. And he is going to stay out, and actually I have made a mistake. I'm going to do 7 laps on the mediums, not 6. So we are now up to 9th place, but it's a provisional 9th. Ooh, and we get it all wrong coming through the first chicane. Moving on, and unfortunately because of that we do lose out on this little battle here. Could have maybe gained a place going into this corner, as we've got Womble Boss up in front of us, and that pack is looking juicy. But because of our mistake we lose out on potential there. Can I tuck it up the inside? Womble holding a very nice line through there. Keeps his speed, keeps his position. Very well played. As the boys up ahead are fighting a lot. We're going 2 abreast with Womble Boss and Vipex. Womble Boss loses out on the outside there. Basically, for this race we had a very good view of other people doing some very good racing. All we've done is maintained our composure and position at the back, whilst slowly picking up positions from other people's mistakes. So Biggie Boy in the pits, I'm going to follow him. We are going to switch to our softs. So we should have nice fresh tyres till the end here. A 6-lap stint on the softs is very, very doable. As we come out of the pits now, we are going to rejoin in. Ooh, let's see, where are we? We are going to rejoin in 16th. But the good thing is, all the people ahead of us will either be on medium tyres or on 1 lap older soft tyres. So we do have tyre advantage over everybody but Biggie Boy. So let's see how this plays out. As we've got Serapoth up there, who's made a good comeback from his early pit stop. He is going to be on very worn tyres by the end of this, so that is a possible position for us if we can maintain our composure. As we come to round out the first lap of our stint on the soft tyres, we are still in 16th place. There is not a lot going on action-wise, but I think this is going to build into a good finale in this race, as we have a lot of potential to make up positions here. We are slightly out of the slipstream of Biggie Boy at this point. A couple more people into the pits off their mediums there. They ran very long stint on mediums. So we'll see if that pays off well for them. They will have good softs at the end of this race. Maintaining our position, we have reclaimed the slipstream of Biggie Boy, which is good to see. There's a little bit of battling going on up ahead. Between, I cannot see the names from here, but they are side by side going into this long right-hander here. They are still side by side. A little bit of contact maybe, but it's... Ooh, they are having a right ding-dong battle up there. But all that fighting has done is bring us closer to them. So that's probably not clever battling on their part. However, we continue on. We are coming to the end of lap 9, only 4 more to go here. And we're in good position here. We're right on the back bumper of the guys ahead. And I believe Biggie Boy's RCZ will be burning its rear tyres quite significantly. As we line him up for a move into turn 1, we get on the brakes nicely, a little bit deep, but it's okay because we have the inside for the next part of the chicane, and we are pinned to the inside of the exit, no way for him to go around the outside, and we are going to have to go defensive into this next corner as the guy up ahead serves a penalty and then completely misses his braking point. So a couple of places gained on lap 10 for us, very nice. We are up to 13th place and we are well and truly on the hunt for Burrs in 12th up ahead of us. That gap coming down a lot, and we are slowly increasing the gap to Biggie Boy behind us. Now as we come into the final few turns, we are definitely closing up on Burrs, and hopefully we can get the run on him out of this corner coming up here, the final bend. Well, unless you count the bends up the hill, but I don't, they're not really corners. It's the back straight as far as I'm concerned. We do have the run on burst, and we are on the wrong side of him. He has gone defensive, but we're just going to commit to the outside line and see if we can outbrake him, go deep into the first apex, and then we've got the inside for the second apex of that first chicane. We make the move stick, but he is right on our bumper, so we are going to come right across the track and make sure we secure the place. We get a nice run through that corner there, and now we're going to speed up a little as Burrs did not come back for our second attempt, and we want to catch up to the back of Dino Dido, the German up ahead, who is driving the Lexus, and we are closing that gap. It did take a few laps to get close to him, but here we go. We are now firmly on his rear end, and can we make a move happen? That Lexus absolutely struggling through the midsection here. I don't know if his tyres are gone or if the Attenza just handles this section better, but he is struggling through there. So if we can get a decent run out of here, we should be able to make a move happen. He gets a little bit twitchy on the exit, gives us the run. We have the inside, so we can make this move stick. And we are side by side coming down the start-finish straight. We are definitely going to be able to outbrake him in this car. It's very nice. We don't quite hook up the apex, but it's enough to make the move stick. So as we enter the final lap, we are in 11th place. We have made up a good amount of places here, starting 19th. We go defensive just to make sure there isn't an attack from the Lexus there, because he was looking pacey down that straight, but we hold him off and we move forward. There is potential of another move, but I outbrake him into that corner, open the gap up, and now there is no chance he is coming back around this hairpin. So as we saw before, he was struggling through this midsection, so that gap is just going to open up, which is good for me because I don't want to drag race that Lexus towards the line. It could be devastating, but there's no chance of that. It's a good 1.2 seconds we've opened up through that mid-sector, and we are going to come across the line for 11th place, which I am very happy with in this race. A mixed lobby, some really fast guys up ahead. I didn't think from the back I was going to be able to keep up with them. So there we are. That is 11th for us. So we're gonna jump straight into the feature race, and if you'd have a look at the names in here, in 3rd place we have Ocon, and I have been informed that is actually the real Esteban Ocon. So that is amazing to be in a race with a real Formula 1 driver. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get anywhere near him because we qualified quite far down the grid and he is up in 3rd place. But the important name to take note of at the back is IOF Racing. And that is Igor Fraga, world champion in this game. Not current world champion, I don't think, but he has been world champion in the past. So as we get the race started, we get underway and we will see what kind of action there is to come. We're starting in 12th place. We are driving the Mazda Atenza again, the Group 3 around Interlagos once more. So warming our tyres up, we did start on the mediums because we were far enough back that the softs we would have wasted our soft stint if we'd started on those. I get a little bit wide on the chicane. The guy ahead of us, nice T, spinning out, stopping by the side of the road for a nice cup of tea. We move on and into the left-hander here. We do come under attack from the Aston Martin behind, JC1 Dynamic. He doesn't quite make the move stick, and we are going to have the inside for this next corner here. So keep it tucked in nice and tight, and he backs off. So a little bit of work to do here. 9th place is getting away from us, and we have JC1 hot on our heels. So all about trying to settle into this race at this point and see if we can churn out some laps and gain back the time we have lost. I'm assuming at this point that the guys ahead of us are on soft tyres, because that gap opened up very quickly, so it would make sense. As we come on to the start-finish straight, JC1 has the pace in that Aston. He is going to make a move around the outside, and he's going to have so much overspeed that he is going to pass us before we even get to the braking zone. So I'm just going to brake early, tuck into behind him, let him go. I don't want to lose too much time fighting him now, because I also think he might be on the softs. Now we did pick up a 0.5 second penalty that lap, and we are going to serve that now. Luckily we have enough of a gap to the guys behind that we aren't going to lose a place. Take a defensive line just in case, stop the guy behind throwing it up the inside. And we did dip a wheel wide coming round that turn, but luckily didn't pick up a penalty. And we've skipped ahead to lap 6, because basically the only action that happened was JC1 overtaking us. Now he's gone. Once he'd gone, he then left us standing, and it was a bit of a boring stint. Once we've got our softs on though, all the action starts to happen, because as we come out of the pits, we will come out in 13th or 14th place. I believe it is 14th place once this Viper goes past. And the guy up ahead serving a penalty is Igor Fraga. And the Viper gets it a little bit wide, dips a wheel. We've just managed to tuck it up the inside there, and we are now following a world champion. So let's see if we have the pace to keep up. As we come around into the tight twisty section, all we're trying to do here is keep pace. We do have fresh softs on. And I did take note that Fraga did come in on the 4th lap to change from his mediums to the softs. So he is on older tyres than we are. so we have every possibility to bring this fight to. As we come on to the start-finish straight, Fragger looking for a move on R4M Old Boy, and I think he's got enough of a run to make that happen. And luckily for us, Old Boy is about to go into the pits, so we have no issues overtaking him. That means we can stay in our hunt for Fragger. As we come into the first chicane, Fragger getting a little bit squirrely, but keeping his pace up, as you would expect from a champion. And we do cut the second apex a little bit too much, pick up a second penalty. And at this point, I was thinking that when we serve that penalty, we are going to lose the toe to Fragger. But let's see how that plays out. So at the moment, we are matching Fragger for pace. Given that we are in the slipstream, that isn't too surprising. In the slipstream, and he is on older tyres than ours. But I'm happy with that nonetheless. So we continue on as we are rounding out the 8th lap of this race, and there is a nice little pack up ahead, which hopefully we can pick off, and I would assume that Fragger is going to be trying to make moves, being as he started at the back of this race. I would assume he's going for a last to first challenge, so if he gets through, maybe we can follow him. Let's see what happens as we come to finish lap 8 and start onto lap 9. It's all to play for here. We do have the second penalty to serve. I looked for the move up the inside, but thought better of it. Thought it's kind of pointless going for it at this moment in time. Also, I didn't quite have enough pace to make it stick cleanly, so I didn't want to punt him off track. We serve our penalty, and we do drop out of the slipstream at this point and go defensive into there just to make sure that Lamborghini didn't throw it up the inside from behind. But luckily we didn't lose any places, and the two guys ahead are fighting, which means we could very possibly pick up this slipstream again. If that happens, then all is good. And at this point of the race we have retrieved the slipstream. JC1 Dynamic not having any of Fragger's attempts to get past, but Fragger does eventually force a move. Great driving from both drivers there. I think hard and fair would be the right way to describe that. So hopefully we try and get a good exit. He gets a little bit squirrely there. Thought the move might be on, but that Aston just outpowers the Mazda up the hill. So we're going to slot in behind, and we see the Lambo coming up quite fast behind us, so we stick to the left hand side, make sure he goes to the outside. JC1 Dynamic moves, has a look for a move, has a look again and throws it up the inside of Fragger. Very nice move, nicely done there. Everybody holding the line, and everyone gets through there a winner. We are very tight down this straight. Now JC1 Dynamic goes defensive on Fragger, which actually gives us the slipstream and allows us to overtake Fragger, and we also get a better drive out of the corner on the inside line, and we take JC1 Dynamic as well. JC1 Dynamic looking like he was going to throw it up the inside of that corner, but he bailed out of it, or we got on the brakes later. Either way, we maintain our position. Fragger also overtakes JC1 Dynamic on the outside, and now our goal is run the hell away as fast as we can. If we can break that toe to Fragger, then happy days. As we come to round out lap 10, we don't have to run away for too much longer. Only 3 laps left of this race, and so hopefully we can maintain 10th position. At this point, 9th place is looking pretty far off in the distance, but then we get Agonator coming into the pits from his softs. So he is about to come out of the pits on fresh mediums. And as you're going to see after the first chicane, we are going to get out in front of him as he comes out of the pits. So more places to be played for here as the battle with Aganator begins, because he is going to be on fresh tyres. Although they're mediums, they are still fresher than our tyres, so the tyre's probably pretty balanced in grip level at this point. And I know full well Aganator is a very quick driver, so this will be interesting. Let's see what happens. We are just maintaining our composure at the front, and hopefully we can maintain the gaps and keep these guys behind us. It's going to be a defensive end to the race, but there isn't a lot of time left, so it is very doable. Defending for 2 laps around here, very possible indeed. Now, Aganator is in the Corvette, so it does have a little bit better drive than the Mazda. It's the only flaw of this car around this track is it doesn't have a lot of drive up this back hill. And Aganator going for the overtake. I don't defend at this point because Fragger is still very much in the mix of this race. He's a little bit far back at the moment, but if me and Aganator start fighting too much, then he will be involved. Agu getting it a little wrong going into the first chicane, goes a little bit deep. Make sure I can maintain a very close distance down this straight. And as we come on to this back straight, we are going to have the run on Agu. He moves across to go defensive, so I move over to the right and then fake him out, move to the left, slam it up the inside, leaving him space on the outside. A nice little move, well executed. He is now going to have the run on the inside coming up to this right-hander. So we're going to keep it as tight as possible while leaving him space, get on the power as early as we dare, and then we just get on the brakes a little bit too late. I did want to hold an outside line there, but we allow Agu too much room and he squeezes through. And due to all that fighting, Fragger is now right back on our tail. Me and Agu have allowed him to rejoin this fight with us. So it is all going to come down to the last lap. This is still anybody's race. It is Corvette from Mazda from WRX Subaru. Any one of us could win this. It's going to be a tight last lap. So we come onto the final lap now, and we are just going to stick as close to Aganator's bumper as we possibly can and try to keep Fragger at bay. As we come on to this back straight for the final time, we are not going to be close enough to Agu to make a move. He does go semi-defensive just in case. He's learnt his lesson from last lap. And we are still maintaining a fair gap to Fragger behind. There is no chance he's going to slam it up the inside anytime soon. So we just keep it tight, keep our apexes on, and we are just going to try not to bin it. The pressure's on and tensions are high, at least for me. These two are probably actually thinking to themselves they're having a pretty bad race right now. But at this point, I am thoroughly enjoying myself. So as we come up to the final straight, we get on the brakes nice and late, close up the gap to Aganator, and we get on the power nice and early. We get a good run out of the final corner. So we are in a drag race to the line. We do have the slipstream. We may be slightly too close for this slingshot shot to work properly, but we pull out. We are gaining, but it's not quite enough, and Agu takes 9th place, me in 10th, and IOF Racing in 11th. That was a fantastic race in my opinion. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching. See you later.